running for a seat that could decide the balance of power in Washington. What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi, good night, everybody.
If the minimum wage were increased to $15 an hour, it would put them out of business. You have 30 seconds.
No, we all have to make sure that everyone that works is able to, that's the most American bargain, that if you work full-time, you should be able to live in dignity as well, true. And I believe they haven't have any businesses being you can't have businesses being subsidized by not paying individuals that just simply can't afford to pay their own way. I'm running to serve Pennsylvania. He's running to use Pennsylvania.
I strongly disagree.
Mr. Fetterman, in a 2018 interview, you said, quote, "I don't support fracking at all. I never have."
Oh, I do support fracking, and I support fracking, and I stand and I do support fracking. Yeah, again, my Dr. L believes that I'm fit to be serving, and that's what I believe is where I'm standing.
I think that message came through very clearly. I think his answers were very direct. But I think John did very well, and I think he understands how people struggle. He understands what working families are up against every day, and I think that came through throughout the debate.
Voters, I think, saw things that will definitely change the state of this race. It's not his fault, but Lieutenant Governor Fetterman struggled. And again, I'm not faulting him for it. I don't think his preparation was great, but he clearly is dealing with health issues that affect his ability to process and his ability to speak.
Some of our friends in Congress say we don't need COVID funding, or they say there's really no reason that the government should be paying for it. I strongly disagree. Strongly disagree. This is a global health emergency.
Is the pandemic over?
The pandemic is over. One COVID shot each year will be all they need. And if you get it, you're protected. And if you don't, you're putting yourself and other people at unnecessary risk.
Our vaccines are working exceptionally well. They continue to work well for Delta with regard to severe illness and death. They prevent it. But what they can't do anymore is prevent transmission.
So I didn't feel there was any better way to start that broadcast than to let you see just a portion of the train wreck that's just occurred. Oh, it's so much larger than that story. So excited to bring it to you today because once this gets out, the Democrats' reign, it's over. I know we may be surprised. That's always a possibility, but I don't see how any American voter at this point can follow a fragmented party that is going in all separate directions, scrambling in panic. And isn't it a wonderful thing to behold? My name is Justice Knight, today filling in for Lisa Haven. She just wanted me to let you know she's doing much better. Coming around now, finally turned a corner. I expect her to be back very soon, but she wanted to thank you each again for all your thoughts and prayers as she's recovering, and she'll be back soon enough. But to make sure I carry on the torch appropriately, she wanted me to give a shout out to her sponsor. So I need you to go to virtualshield.com/Lisa Haven 1. And why? Because Virtual Shield has a brand new product out there called VirtualShield One. As you see on the screen, there is a victim of identity fraud every 14 seconds, and their solution, here's what it does for you. It's going to hide your IP address, it's going to guard your identity, and it's going to fight back against censorship, something we should all care about. On top, of course, of complete identity protection, they'll be working in the background to look after you and complete, again, privacy with their state-of-the-art VPN. But as I always say, but wait, there's more. You see the special deal up on top, one-year plan, $9.99. That's an offer that nobody could refuse. So what is that more? You see it there, global network access, unblocked streaming sites, military-grade encryption, unlimited devices, one-click protection, automatic Wi-Fi security. Man, I wish I was a speed talker right now. $1 million insurance, 24/7 support, malware blocking, ad blocking, premium streaming, and priority phone support. I still can't believe this statistic. 24% of Americans use the word password as password. 8.64 million. That's the total cost of data breaches in America in 2020. 420,175 passwords are stolen every day. And how do they stack up against the competition? Well, there is no competition. You see Virtual Shield up on the top, green check mark across the board, but nobody else anywhere close. And by going to virtualshield.com/Lisa Haven 1, you're going to get $9.99 a month for a year, down from their regular rate of $29.99. That is a once-in-a-lifetime offer. Offered to you exclusively through Lisa Haven. Again, virtualshield.com/LisaHaven1. But now let's get back to this, well, mind-numbingly perplexing broadcast. Brought to you by none other than Fetterman and Biden. You saw them in the beginning, going ahead and adding to the complete demolition of the Democrats, but they have help. Oh, more help than most can imagine. Did any of you happen to catch this Washington Post article? Liberals urge Biden to rethink Ukraine strategy. These are those Justice Democrats we've talked about so much, the liberal arm of the Democrat Party. In a letter sent to the president on October 24th, I'm going to read the opening paragraph. We write, with appreciation for your commitment to Ukraine's legitimate struggle against Russia's war of aggression. Your support for the self-defense of an independent, sovereign, and democratic state have been supported by Congress, including those various appropriations of military, economic, and humanitarian aid in furtherance of this cause. Your administration's policy was critical to enable the Ukrainian people, through their courageous fighting and heroic sacrifices, to deal with the historic military defeat to Russia, forcing Russia to dramatically scale back the stated goals of the invasion. However, they changed course at the end. Closing paragraph, in conclusion, we urge you to make vigorous diplomatic efforts in support of a negotiated settlement and ceasefire. Engage in direct talks with Russia. Boy, coming out of left field on that one, isn't it? That's not what we've heard from the Democrats. Well, we haven't heard from many on Capitol Hill at all. Signed by Pramila Jayapal, Cori Bush, many of the people you're very well aware of. Ro Khanna, of course, Ilhan Omar, continuing going back, Ayanna Pressley, Mark Pocan, we're going to talk about him in just a second. Rashida Tlaib, AOC, Jamal Bowman. Oh, it goes on. But there's something wrong with this letter. Because they backtrack less than 24 hours later, it appears they can't get their act together whatsoever. And you gotta love the fact that they can't get their act together, yet they're responsible for spending over $54 billion of our taxpayer dollar. Doesn't that just make you feel warm and fuzzy inside? But remember, 24 hours later, suddenly something changes. The way to end a war, win it quickly. How is it won quickly? By giving Ukraine the weapons to defeat Russia. Well, that's in polar opposition to the letter I just read. Mark Takano, told you we'd come back to him. My statement regarding my continued support for President Biden's policy towards Ukraine. But, Mark, you signed the letter to enter into negotiations, not to continue the war. And this out of the Progressive Caucus, a statement from Representative Jayapal reaffirming support for Ukraine. But wait, she also signed the letter. Sarah Jacobs, signing in diplomacy is everything. I signed this letter on June 30th, but a lot has changed since then. I wouldn't sign it today, but it was released. Her signature to prove it. So what went wrong with the Democrats once again? Well, it appears the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. Or in this case, the left hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. The proximity of these statements created the unfortunate appearance that the Democrats, who have strongly and unanimously supported and voted for every package of military, strategic, and economic assistance to the Ukrainian people, are somehow aligned with Republicans who seek to pull the plug on American support for President Zelensky and the Ukrainian forces. I got to go further in this because something's wrong. The letter was drafted several months ago, but unfortunately was released by staff without vetting. Oh, the staff member did it. That's truly the story they're going with now. We signed this thing, we agreed with it, but now we don't agree with it, and our staff member released it without us knowing, although we all signed it. Huh. And you gotta love this title. Progressive Democrats repudiate their Ukraine position, then just for fun repudiate their repudiation. But isn't that just go to indicate everything that's happening with the Democrats, who are scrambling in a mass panic because they're about to lose control of everything? They are a ship sailing out to sea with no engine and heading straight towards the Titanic of icebergs. But unfortunately, there's still people standing on that iceberg thinking that they can stop a ship that is about to be absolutely destroyed. Or as Josh Marshall put it, and they pulled it. House progressives withdraw the letter. Say it was a staff freelancing without vetting. Honestly, some better explanation of what happened here is really required, but we won't get a better explanation. Actually, we'll get nothing. Here's my hunch about what happened here. Look at the Quincy Institute. They were apparently the organizers of this effort, the letter. That's not a secret. A lot of members signed it and then nothing happened. Kind of odd in itself. I suspect Quincy and other alike groups were really not too happy that the letter didn't go out, so maybe they just happened to push that staffer to go ahead and release it. Man, didn't that happen at the Supreme Court just recently too? The staff member did it. Really. The whodunits of Capitol Hill just continue to expand. But this now has the Democrats reeling. Democrats' new Senate struggles. Democrats lose ground with women in recent polling. Democrats are losing Latino voters as Republicans eye opportunities these midterms. And it's all being set up for one man to be the fall guy. The New York Post publishing this. Biden to be a fall guy for expected Democratic midterms defeat. Even the mainstream media pundits who've supported them for so long now turning the opposite direction.
And what's significant about 2018? That was the highest midterm turnout in 100 years. This indicates we're going to be even higher than that. Poll, you will see that among likely voters, Republicans have an advantage, and among the final group of persuadable voters, Republicans have the advantage. That is why it feels as if the wind has shifted a little bit here.
The winds have changed? Oh no, that's a hurricane gale force wind pushing Democrats right towards that iceberg of destruction. I guess there's always a chance that they could turn that ship back, but I don't see that happening. So in closing, if you haven't subscribed to Lisa's channel, I certainly hope you will. If you haven't subscribed to mine, Lisa will put a link just above. And remember that gift I want to give to Lisa upon her return. That gift is your subscription to RestrictedRepublic.com. She put out a blockbuster offer. 2 for free. The number 2, FORFREE in monthly checkout. It's going to get you 2 months for free, plus a bonus 14 days. That offer's never been out there before. We ask you to take advantage of it. Let's let her see you be a portion of the Restricted Republic family. Upon her return, nothing would make her happier. We have worked day and night to build that platform, and the thousands and thousands that enjoy real news, no commercials, no interruptions. We want you to be a part of the Restricted Republic family. So on behalf of both of us, we love you all. And until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Knight, signing out.